Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Spinner Rack. It is Mars here. How y'all doing? I have with you the team. I got Cal and Petey. Say what's up, gents.
What's going on?
Ready to rock.
We have another trailer review from another video game, Tomb Raider, Legend of Lara Croft. Hey, the video games are hitting us hard. Petey, selector, please play.
Ready, set, and
What is your chase? What is it you're running from? If it's your past, your demons will always find you. Miss Croft.
History doesn't always tell us the whole truth, because the real truth is too difficult for most to bear. I have to figure out what this is all about.
Sounds like you could use some help.
So I'm looking for something connected to my past. Something important. Why is everything so dramatic with you? I ask myself that all the time.
I have a bad feeling about this.
We need a new plan.
Run!
This is new.
Sometimes I swear you have a death wish.
Maybe you do.
I think we got off on the wrong foot, Miss Croft.
You mean you trying to kill me?
Something like that. Go! Lara! You are nothing.
You're a poison.
Thief is better.
No. I'm a survivor. Do you trust me?
Of course.
Always.
I brought this. You're gonna need
Holy crap. I thought I saw Killmonger there for a second. At the very end. Wow.
well,
That was a lot to take in. Tomb Raider, wow, they're doing another. Lara Croft is back in action. Um, and Netflix is definitely doing this, so it's interesting. They're doing an animated show to boot. So hey, Cal, tell me what you
Lara
think
Croft,
about it.
Lara Croft is back in action, but do we care? That is the big question. We had the video game overwhelmingly successful. First film received well. Second film, not so much. Comic series, initial one that was on Image Comics with Top Cow,
Right.
pretty good run. And then successive comic stories that have come out since then, not so much. You know, some runs here, some runs there. We also had we also had a reboot or a restart movie, if you will, with who's that? Alicia Vikander. Not too much love, spread there. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, what about you, Petey?
um, um, you know,
Are you
I
excited?
think you. This also, I'm glad they're doing animated. I mean, there's definitely the cast. I mean, obviously the choice that they picked, obviously Angelina Jolie, even the second one. Or I always go to the commercial that had Sofia Vergara, which was closer to the video game. It's a character that it has definitely had big success and had all of the young people who played the game fell in love. So it's like you can, but at the same time, will it find a new audience? And I think it's interesting that you can do more things in animation. You can have more fun with the character going, fighting different things, and not, the budgetary things is already within the animation. So you can have the spectacle and finally get that Lara Croft that has everything from the video game. And also, since it's a movie, try to build out the supporting cast, which it seems like they're doing. So I think it's going to be, I'm not sure whether it's success or not, but I think it's the right thing to do, especially with a property. And I would rather, well, at the same time, I'm like looking at, say like the animated Tarzan movie that Disney did, whether it not be a success, it did bring something, it did do some fun things with the character as far as how he was traveling and adding some real speed to the character. So there's some things that I think in animation, obviously looking at the Incredibles and stuff like that, it's the obviously the Into the Spider Verse, things you can do with the superheroes that you can't really do with the live action, but they're getting closer as they go along because they struggle with money and budget, and having put these characters, Marvels has struggled on the other side where they're doing all, you know, digital backgrounds, but it's gotten colder and the characters have been kind of less interactive with the surroundings. So they kind of lost their, I don't know, not about the TV now, but you can see in Endgame some of the being in the reality, which is what the whole key to the Marvel Universe was, is being in New York, that sort of thing. And obviously you have some of that in the storytelling, but in the animation, I think maybe more, they should try to do more of this. And it'll be interesting to see how this fares. And it seems like it's just straightforward what it's supposed to be. It's not like He-Man where they're saying they're trying to find something different. Where I guess He-Man they were trying to turn Tila into the Lara Croft of the thing. So you have the actual Lara Croft, in doing animation. Why not? I'm for it.
Okay, I mean, I see this is basically a Netflix strategy, right? So Netflix basically went out and bought a whole bunch of different IPs, from Jupiter. What was that? Jupiter's Legacy from Mark Miller and his team. Or was it Kirkman? I'm not sure which one it was. And so they're bringing stuff like this. They're bringing in. At one point, remember they had the whole Marvel TV shows where they're getting stories and stuff that has had promise, but sometimes they're not on there. They're not very at their best right now, and so they're going to clean it off, fix it up, and then they're going to put it on their show. So they're doing an animated version, and I think that it could be successful because it's geared to a particularly younger demographic. And we'll see. That's the best I can say. But that's what Netflix is doing. They're shopping IP, and they're picking whatever IP they can get. They're going to you know, pump it up.
Yeah, I just don't know if they have any.
Story.
Yeah, I don't know if they have any story, for this particular character. Because again, she did any of you guys ever see Relic Hunter
Yeah, yeah,
with Tia Carrere?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think Relic Hunter got out to the people before Tomb Raider, and Relic Hunter was Tomb Raider, and Tia Carrere got at least 3 seasons of that.
Yeah, but that was
You
like
know,
very low budget, right?
she got 3 seasons. She got 3 seasons. She got steady work for 3 years. I'm certain she was happy. So, but the whole idea that was the premise of there's some artifact, there's some idol, some historical doodad, and she's got to go and find it, solve puzzles, escape
Right.
traps, in order to get everything done. Okay, cool. That's Indiana Jones. I think there's always a healthy appetite for that thing in terms of adventure. I just don't know if there's any stories for Laura Croft to go with it. I mean, this is very similar. I mean, we were already reviewing The Last of Us, and there's a lot of elasticity when it's a video game because you just need to keep certain staples of the video game, and then you can come up with a whole club story. You can do pretty much whatever you want as long as you have some of the staples of that particular game. So you can do the same thing here, but it does require, somebody who understands, somebody who's watched an Indiana Jones film. Let me say it like that. Like, what makes this work? Okay, it can't be as simple as, oh, we're going here. She's looking for something. She solves a riddle. She finds it. She loses it. She finds it again. She comes home. There has to be a bit more to it than that. And so I'm not sure how strong the story is going to be, even though there is, a healthy amount of interest in the character overall. I mean, since the video game, she's been in different forms of media. She hasn't disappeared. She's back once again with Netflix. good platform for definitely a good platform, for exposure for the character. I just don't know if you have a story to suck anybody in.
I mean, I kind of agree with you there, in that I saw it and I'm like, okay, do I really want to see it? It's a must see TV, and I don't think it's going to rise to that level. I mean, but it looked competent. Probably we just need another trailer to explain what's going on. Probably will make me change or sway my mind.
But they better do something quick because the due date is this month. Like, what is it? In a few days?
October 18th, I believe. But
Got
probably didn't
12
show,
days. Got 12 days. You better do
but probably
something.
didn't show everything. So that's the thing. Probably didn't show everything.
Well, I also think going to Relic Hunter, I think having they set up, I mean, like even Indiana Jones had the supporting cast. Relic Hunter had the supporting cast, and also had a lot of titillating stuff in there. Like they kept putting they had the nerdy guy in these, all these weird things with Tia Carrera. So I think one of the things that they kind of thrown out is the fact that people fell in love with what's the name. I think it was crazy in the first Lara Croft where they kind of decided to, have Angelina Jolie have fake boobs in the first thing where it was just crazy. And the second one, which was a way better film than the first, was at least done right as far as how she looked and how her body was, and not trying to kind of overcompensate for what they thought was going on. But they could
Well, that
probably
was
have more fun with it.
that was a staple of it. I mean, that was overkill, definitely, but that was that was a staple of the comics. So these guys are like, well, yeah, she's got really big boobs in the video game, so she's got to have big boobs in movies. Like, really? I don't think so. Yeah, yeah, we got to do it. We got to do it.
That's a bad. You're freaking bad. But anyway, this show also reminded me, when you were talking about Relic Hunter, it reminded me of Warehouse 13. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and that had like 5 seasons, I believe. Where it had the warehouse had a government warehouse where it had like top secret um, artifacts from all over the world or the universe, and sometimes some of them disappeared, and you had to go find them and stuff like that. So that kind of reminded me where Relic Hunter is more like they're trying to track those things down. Here, they had them at one point, and now they're trying to get them back again. You know, and that was actually a fun period because those that show was what, in the early 2000s? No, the mid 2000s, I think.
Yeah.
And that was the golden age of like what our scripted television that you can watch. That's when they had the Hercules and the Xena and the DS9 and the Babylon 5.
More the syndicated TV.
Yeah, syndicated TV. Sorry. Yeah,
Like the post Baywatch, to go from Baywatch to then say we're doing these location shows and also special effects shows, which seemingly all at the same time with Star Trek. They're saying these shows for the networks are a struggle, where they're like, hey, we don't want to do shows that like I think they were talking about. I think the character from the Tales from the Gold Monkey was on St. Elsewhere, and she was in the same scene as Denzel, so they were talking, and Denzel was like, yeah, like your show is killing us as far as the numbers go, and she was like, yeah, but they keep cutting the budget. Like our second year, we got our budget getting cut. They're gonna definitely get rid of us. So it was having the fact that Star Trek, which obviously only had 3 seasons, found life on television and syndication, and the same with Baywatch, which was canceled and then went to. And so the syndication was also helpful to have these things that had effects, locations, and all that other stuff. And you
Yeah, well, you know what? This may be a bad question. Since we went down this rabbit hole, do you think it would ever, the, something where we would have those syndicated shows would ever come back again? Because now no one's really watching. What do they call it? Not terrestrial TV. They call it I don't know, terrestrial
isn't
TV.
isn't that what the streaming is? Like, isn't that what Netflix is giving life to shows that wouldn't make it on regular TV? Like that's what.
Yeah, but you have all these fast channels that there's a free ad supported television streaming channels, and they're so divided. You have for every single like you, so you can have if you want to watch Golf Channel, the baseball channel, the I remember being in London. They had like 6 of them. They had like, gods and monsters, horror, um, romance,
Horror.
Christmas, and there's just a whole bunch of them. And you're like, oh, interesting.
I'm giving up on the horror part. She's not gonna say it.
Horror.
Horror.
Okay. So yeah, I mean that was just a question, but hey, I guess let's close it out. You like
All
what you
right.
did? Give us a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, spin rack.
Out.